Morning and welcome to the May 20th, 2026 Middle Bay Park and Recreation Board meeting. All the members are here other than Barb Spice, who is traveling. So we will start with the approval of the minutes from the April 5th meeting, or April meeting. I hear any questions about that? And if not, do I have a motion to approve?
I always feel I shouldn't approve them because I wrote them. I figured it should be somebody else
I'll
saying they
motion to
approve.
approve.
There's a motion.
All right.
There's a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
They are wonderful. Public comments. Mary, you're as public as we got today. Yeah, we appreciate anything you share with us. How's that? Park Commissioner's not here. Financials, everybody received the financials by email. I did not see anything newsworthy in there. Tom, did I miss anything?
No, not really.
Okay. So versus the previous months, we don't have a lot of activity there at this time, so we'll consider the financials approved. Tom, you want to give us a few words from the superintendent?
Yep, I just sent the report to you, so I have it in your emails after this. Just, it's the, it's the end of May, and it's the crazy month, so we're, thank goodness for volunteers. I reported this at town council. We've had so many good volunteers, and we always have good volunteers. We're just blessed that way, thank goodness, but, this last couple weeks in particular, we had 4-H club, we've had Girl Scouts, we've had 4 times so far, 5 tomorrow would be different members of the landscape committee with the different gardens. And then Lippert was here Monday, about 15 guys. We moved, it was Andrew and Jim working with them, and I was working with the landscaping committee. Planting, but those guys moved 24 yards of mulch in an hour and a half. So, a lot of the mulch down the Pumpkin Vine, Railroad Streets, Kreider, some of the the perennial gardens around trees, up by the bathroom. So, you guys know this, but just quite literally, if we didn't have those volunteers, we just wouldn't be able to do a lot of stuff will get done, so very, very blessed, very thankful. So, and of course to you guys, the anchors of the whole thing. So,
Okay, real good. Any comments, questions for Tom?
we did. I think I talked to you. We had the second grade field trip yesterday, and they started here, right, and went down the stairs, went to Public Works, the Water Department, Parks, had lunch. We talked about how, again, about a theme of volunteers, how volunteers are so helpful, and kind of roped them in to volunteer for 5 minutes to pick up some of the black mulch around the playground and work that into a camouflage activity because they learned about camouflage this year. And so I brought a couple of the specimens of the animals and talked about camouflage, and then they went to try to find an egg that was camouflaged and hidden in the park that had candy in it. So ended up being pretty good. And then they went to the fire department and the library and back to the school. So it was a pretty cool field trip.
It's a great age to get them
Yeah,
indoctrinated with the town and what goes on.
yeah.
They were so good.
Yeah, they were good. I mean, they were a little wild after lunch because they're on the playground playing and, to get them settled down. But, I mean, they're 7, 8-year-olds, so
Public Works gave them ring pops, so
that's what it was.
sugar too.
That's good news and bad news. Okay, we ready to go into projects? If so, Tom, Riverfest?
We didn't have a meeting this month, didn't have a lot of updates. Have a lot lot of time for the meeting anyways, so I postponed it till the next month.
Okay, no problem. Landscape Committee, there's a couple comments here. Their May meeting, everybody was there. One of the things that came out of that is the idea of having American flags line the Pumpkin Vine Nature Trail from Bristow Street to the bridge, Trestle Bridge. And so we measured that off. It's like 700 feet. Thought process is to have about every 10 feet on either side of the trail flags. So it'll be 140 flags, be a real nice display. The idea of that is for the week before, not the week, but about a week's period before and after the 4th of July. We should include that July 3rd events. So that's the one thing that was different than. Other things that are going on are kind of normal business. The other thing is, as Tom alluded to, is that's the group that's busy helping plant everything, and tomorrow is the planting of the quilt garden. So anybody wants to come help plant the quilt garden, that's so be it. So a lot of good stuff going on there.
I'm just for the quilt garden, I'm finishing lining that up as far as putting the strings out and stuff, and so I'm gonna still yet finish that today, so it's all ready. But it's usually about almost a 2-day process. So, but should be ready to go. Get the map out the star today, so that's gonna be fun.
Yeah,
Just
whenever you
figuring
do-
out the measurements on that. That's
Yeah, the points are fun.
yeah, the points are fun.
Points are fun to plant, too. So I guess the other thing is that the sundial dedication on June 20th, have that on your calendar, please. And I think that will cover landscape, and we can go over to, well, I guess trails is Barb. Tom, you and I kind of covered that yesterday with just two of the members.
Yeah. Yeah, it was, got a little bit mixed up on the time. It was kind of early, normally at 1, and she sent an email at 12:30, and I missed that. And so by the time we got there, it was just a short little meeting, but it was, I guess, kind of more to come there. We didn't have a lot of, like,
Yeah, there's
Discussion,
nothing dramatic at this point in time.
no decisions made or whatever. So.
Right, yeah, there's nothing, so. Trails, Pumpkin Vine Advisory, I guess that's back to you, Tom.
Yep, this was an off month, but still very, very excited and interested to see where those extra funds that was donated towards maintenance, still working on that for, in fact, I think in September, and I've already mentioned this to Barb, they want to have almost like a 5-year type planning session to see what we're going to be looking at as far as maintenance on just the Pumpkin Vine Trail, and just, get some extra feedback. So we're going to be inviting a couple, anywhere from 1 to 2 extra people to that meeting, brainstorm type thing. So
Good.
I've already talked to Barb about that, and we'll see if anybody else wants to come from the Trails Committee. Yep.
Well,
So-
you got a nice start on ours with your plan.
Yeah. Yep. Then hopefully they'll. So one thing that's on the horizon is, it doesn't really, it involves us, but not directly. But Elkhart County Parks has always struggled about having their equipment so far away from managing the trail itself on both sides of us, east and west. And for years, they've talked about at the PAC level of having some sort of, a location kind of where in Middlebury. And now with this potential, that's not potential, now this extra money, that could be actually pretty feasible. So might be looking at some locations in Middlebury. I know one spot that was talked about years ago was kind of by our shop there, right behind Forks, They have just an open field. So I don't know. That's probably going to be, I would imagine that's definitely going to be one of the high levels on that 5-year plan that we're talking about, so.
That's great. That's been a wish or a topic for years, and
Yeah.
that would be great if they could get that located here in Middlebury. And
So I guess for us, just to kind of be thinking about maybe spots, locations,
Exactly.
that would be
Do they need
feasible.
one on both sides, or they would just try to get a central spot?
I think Carla might have mentioned something about a place kind of here in Middlebury, and maybe, that would be kind of the highest priority, and then maybe one further down that's west of Goshen, kind of in between Goshen and Elkhart.
At one time, it was discussed, Mary, the Quonset on Railroad Street.
Yeah, I don't know what's gonna happen with that, so
Yep.
that could still be a possibility.
Well, more news to come. More news to come. It would be, Tom, your comment about out there close to the shop was
I mean,
deal.
for us too, it could be a sharing thing, because, we're a little tight on space as well, so if we had a little bit extra space,
Oh, yeah.
that'd be helpful for us as well,
Oh.
so.
Okay, Friends of the Parks met yesterday. Quite a few things happened there. I'll try to abbreviate this as much as possible. Trestle Terrace has got a number of trees that are down, leaning over, scrub trash. And so in the past month, there's been, that they've got quotes on that, and they've chosen it, and they've Hook and Axe Land Management, Thomas Eichley, $3,300 to do cleanup there, and they made that approval, and so that will be a nice cleanup job in that area. It'll make it more look like a park. The other major item that came out yesterday was the street. The Friends own the street in front of the car wash, behind the filling station there, leading up to the chalet on one side. And so that's needed some repair for years. What was it, Marlin, whatever his name of this car.
Mast?
Yeah.
He used to own it, yeah.
Yeah, he used to own it, and he used to help take care of that. But anyhow, again, they got a quote for patching that up, about $6,000. That was approved, and so that will be taken care of.
Yeah, I'm waiting to hear back from the guy that, low bidder on that, to make sure that he's still able to do it for us, so.
Yeah. The other item is the Lozier property has been called the Lozier property since it was given to them. And so we've challenged the group to, hey, it needs to have a name. And so after some discussion, it was agreed to call it Crystal Valley Preserve. And we'll save the next piece of it till we talk about communication.
Okay.
Okay. Property acquisition, any movement on,
I have not heard anything, Tom.
No, but it's kind of a little bit in our court, so just need to get back on that, and then also maybe waiting a little bit on MyACOG. I think you guys heard about that they possibly could have funding and the manpower to do the trash delineation, right? So that would be amazing, a big first step, so. So a little bit in the wait game for that, and then I just need to kind of keep in contact to make sure they know that we're still interested and hoping to move forward with it, so.
okay. Then I lost the agenda, I'm in good shape. Programs, Mary, thank you for having programs listed nicely here in Middlebury Matters. Anything else we need to talk about on that? I guess the next one coming up is,
Yeah, so the big thing, just so you guys know, is the ladies here in the office has really stepped up, especially Jessie, in helping out with program flyers and Facebook posts in a big way. So it's, in fact, who was talking to me the other day? It was you, yeah, about how, and you're not even on Facebook that much, you said, but you've noticed a lot of stuff been on Facebook lately from the parks. A big difference compared to what it was. Yeah, all the programs have been on there, and lots of, even some of the volunteer work that's been happening and stuff like that, so. Yeah, so the next one is the, he wants a flyer. You want to can this go in the bank, maybe?
Yeah, that's right.
Have we told Corey that we don't need flyers for music in the park?
I need to talk to her about that. In fact, that's something I was thinking about yesterday.
Do you want me to contact her?
No, I need to contact her. Because we weren't quite sure what we were going to be doing as far as if we wanted something consistent, a theme of the music in the parks that kind of arched through all three of them, or, because they already created the Facebook posts for the music ones, and so it just seemed a little bit easier, and we just made a decision earlier this week, I think. Yeah, to just go ahead and art that
Okay.
they've made, so. And so I need to get with her and let her know that we're gonna go that route, and yeah. And then next year, I think we'll get I think we need to all of us sit down, now that we know where our Facebooks posts are coming from, we can kind of sit down and have a better plan as far as going forward from the beginning of the year, so.
okay. Well, that's a segue into communications.
Of which we have none. There has not been a May in Middlebury. Don't know if there ever will be. Don't know if there'll be a June one. I send her stuff for June. It may or may not appear. I don't know. I told the library they could use our sign in Memorial Park until June 1st, but after that, we needed it for summer events, so that's where that stands. After the Heron Walk, or the Warbler Walks, we didn't need it again till the end of June, so I said, June 1st, we'll take it back and put our stuff out.
And thanks again for continuing to do that.
I'm not sure what's gonna happen with in Middlebury, but if you want to, like, we do the quarterly Middlebury Matters, and we could have like an insert with the parks, like do a front and back or something.
Okay?
And I need to talk to council, because they may decide that we need to like do it every other month, like once every 2 months or something. I just can't. I don't think I can manage doing one every month.
Oh, yeah.
It's a lot of work. So anyway,
Well, at the near future, we need to sit down and have a plan for alternatives for ongoing communication.
I think we even include like the library and the schools.
Yeah, I mean, that meeting that was, when was it, 3 months ago?
Yeah.
Kind of tried to have that meeting again, minus.
Nobody tell Desiree we're meeting.
She's frustrated because, she put it together. It's just not being published. So, all the work was done on it. So, anyway,
That would be frustrating.
yeah.
So what do you think that meeting would solve? Just ideas?
Yeah, how do we move forward? How do we,
Pool resources
right,
involved and,
Okay,
And, I mean, with us, it's like, we're just town, we're not sending it outside of town limits.
Right.
So it gets to be a little bit complicated, but we can put it on our website, like, we do that. It's just not being pushed out in the mail to,
Well, the increased Facebook communication that has helped bridging this.
well, and we can put it on Facebook and do a link to the town's website, so, but yeah. And we'll continue, if we're not pushing something out, you just need to give us a call or whatever.
What's your deadline for your next quarterly?
So it will go out in August, so we try to get it to him by the end of July.
Let's go early August or?
August, like around August 15th, somewhere the 12th through the 15th.
Who prints those for you?
Maple Leaf Printing.
Oh, yeah. Have you been doing quarterlies for
Yeah.
some time? Yeah.
I think,
Ideally, some firm would take over in Middlebury. Somebody other than us.
yeah, I'm not sure how that works, but
Yeah, well, some publisher, some printer. Should we have a meeting ahead of this school, COC, and other group to have some sort of a thought process? I don't know what that is.
Do we, I think you alluded to it, the town is maybe a little confined to go beyond the borders as far as funding that, right? So I guess, I don't know if there's any way, if it needed discussion that could, at town council level to see if they would be willing to go beyond that before that meeting. That's the only thing I can think of, maybe,
Okay,
but.
yeah.
or maybe I don't know what the library funds are, like, I don't know how they do their, I don't know. I'm just trying to, or maybe the trustee's office could help supplement some of that too. I don't know.
Well, and Friends of the Parks could help donate towards that if they so choose, so.
Well, and we have our existing people who fund it. Would they continue to fund
Oh, right, yeah, sure.
a joint, whatever that comes out of this? I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Okay, we aren't going to solve that this moment.
Yeah.
There's not much to look at in the old business and new business. Tom, the Wayne Street, getting that wrapped up as we speak.
Yeah, it's gonna be nice. Just so you guys know, they ended up not cutting through the driveways, but everything else, I've just been so crazy busy. I haven't been up there yet even to see how it looks. I'll try to remember to do that before I go back to Kreider today, just to have eyes on it. But yeah, it's
Is that going to reduce the cost any?
I was wondering that myself. I haven't had a chance to talk to Mary about that.
Because the Friends put, like, what, $5,000
$5,000
into that thing, so.
Which we still haven't paid that yet. The Friends haven't. And I was gonna talk to Joel a little more about that, but he had to rush off yesterday, so I'll get with him separately and,
And we'll figure out what the final total
Yeah.
bill is.
yeah.
Okay. Okay.
I do have another old business, which is the River Bend Bridge. Don't have final things here, but I do have some numbers. And I can try to walk you through this. This is a little summary. So we had two companies come out, Laporte Construction, who is the same company that did the bridge over the River Mill Trail. And of course, they did a fabulous job. And then Milestone Contractors. And their quotes were not apples to apples, so I tried to make it as close as I could here. So the bold total cost there is the way I was trying to make it apples to apples. So it's basically putting in new footers, taking out the road ties, putting in new footers on both sides of the bridge, and setting the old bridge on those new footers. Also mobilization and a little bit of clearing, some trees to get some equipment back there. Not a lot of trees, a couple of trees here and there. So they got 49,870 and 42,580 there. Now, Milestone also added some extra work there that Laporte didn't, but as far as removing the old decking and putting on new decking, and then also riprap. But then also for another, I don't know, not really complication, but just more information, I guess. So while we were out there at the bridge looking at it, Jake from Laporte Construction spoke to me about a very similar project I did in Kokomo, 2 bridges actually, of brand new builds, and ended up being around about $275 per square foot, or square foot, which for our size of bridge is around $75,000, which isn't crazy. I thought it might be more than that.
Not compared to this, yeah.
Yeah, I would
Yeah,
consider.
exactly. So I'm almost like,
More.
Yeah.
do we just hold off and not do this quick fix? And like Mary's already talked to me, it's like if we do the whole new bridge, we need to get drawings and
Okay.
and quotes and stuff like that. But and just hold off and then try to try to get the money for just a whole new bridge all at once, or do we do the smaller? And it's not a whole lot smaller. Now, one thing that's not included in that $75,000 is the removal of the old bridge.
Right. Is there any of this that you feel your team and maybe with some volunteers you could tackle? Whether it's the demo or any of the clearing?
We probably could do some of the clearing, and then the above and beyond, like the removal of the bridge decking, the existing bridge.
Yeah.
We were planning to do that anyways,
Yeah.
so we could probably do that part of it. Again, we didn't get I could ask Laporte for a quote on that part of it. But I kind of want to do a little bit more time. I just haven't had time here in May to really dig into this more. When I get back from vacation, which, by the way, I'm going to be gone next week out in Maine, but I'll be back June 1st, June 2nd, and can kind of get more into this and some more details, more options.
So the brand new, what would the timeline be? You're saying more in the
I don't-
fall or even later?
Well, as far as funding and engineering and stuff like that, yeah,
Oh, yeah, okay,
I would think in permitting,
yeah,
it'd probably be at least fall,
yeah,
if not later.
right,
You're talking about the bridge?
Yeah,
yeah.
I was just going over I kind of,
If it's a brand new one, it'll be next year.
yeah.
And
Kinda
you'll be
had-
lucky then. Because remember how long that bridge took us?
That's just a little summary of what they sent earlier. I know you saw the other parts of it, but just kind of, I just don't know if we do the small chunk of it just to get it back and open, which that could last us many, many years. But it's not a whole lot more money with a whole new bridge. So I don't know, just needed to kind of talk about that and, again, get a little bit more information. Hopefully have some more of that information for next, definitely by next park board meeting, maybe even before that, so.
Okay. Yeah, I think we really need to carefully study a patch versus a new bridge. I think if we went to the new bridge route, I guess one of my concerns is, as Murray alluded to, is the timeline to get it open.
Yeah.
And in the same token, I think that if we were building a new bridge, it would be more likely to get some donations towards that.
Which your friend in the villas.
I could call.
Yeah, well,
see
I'd
what
wait
he-
till we have a plan.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I know, you might not know him well enough for this, but I'll put this off, later on, but.
That's okay, I agree. Okay, so let's, for the bridge, let's, with this information, let's continue to, as you alluded to, get more information and we'll bring it back either before or at the June meeting. The new business, we need to approve the master plan. It's been sent, it's been approved, but as the park board, we need to have kind of a final approval. And Tom, how should this work? Be the, what is it, 2026, 2030?
Correct.
Master plan?
Submitted to the DNR,
Has been submitted to the DNR.
approved. And now with the town, or the park board needs to approve that.
Right. So all in favor of approving the 2026, 2030 master plan as submitted to the DNR? Do I have a motion to approve?
I move that we approve it.
Do I have a second?
A second.
I have a second, I've been moved and second. All in favor of the approval process for the master plan, say aye.
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 And then, John, there's actually a signature we have to have on there, so you can sign that, and then we'll send it back.
Yep, great, great. Okay, is there any other business to bring before the park board? If not, thank you. The next meeting comes in sometime in June. At 10 o'clock at Town Hall. Thank you. I didn't feel June or whatever that is.
Yeah.